Thank you. Yes.
And the roadmap's going to be topicality, physician, patients, palliative care, and then value of life on case to the value of life. Everyone. Ready? Topicality. They say physician-assisted suicide is equal to physician-assisted dying, but they're not being topical. We read the card in our 1NC that specifically said that they don't, the plan is aid in dying, not pass. That's a Burlow is 14 evidence. They said that we said aid in dying is chosen by mentally competent patients onto physicians' patients. We said that the plan wrecks stem cell research. They don't address this in a 2AC directly. Extend our evidence that says that the plan wrecks stem cells. Stem cell are key to the next generation of drug treatment, solves disease. Harker Collins 10. The power of embryonic cells is a research tool. Even if cells never end up being used, that could lead to treatments and cures. Embryonic stem cells represent undifferentiated cell type, can be encouraged to become muscle, brain, or blood cells. The way we got drugs in the past involved in animal model. These are human cells, and you can convince them the way they would in person. It's also a very powerful new way to find the next generation of drugs. And stem cells solves disease. Scientific consensus hatch 6. EFC research holds the keys to curing the world's deadliest and most debilitating diseases. Our top scientists want this. The future of modern medicine lies in stem cell research. Vermont's assessment, the development of a cell that may produce almost every tissue of the human body is an unprecedented scientific breakthrough. This revolutionizes the practice of medicine. Many share this view. Dr. Kerr could lead to therapies that seemed previously beyond reach. Unless federal funding is expanded, this promising research would die on the vine. Funding will be required to advance this field of science. Support of embryonic cells, stem cell research could reduce the time and expense needed to develop drugs. In the 2AC, they said that we do not have a link that says that it wrecks effective response to disease, but link physicians. Act destroys doctor-patient relations, undermines healing process fully and Hendon 2. The legalized practice of physician-assisted death will almost certainly damage the doctor-patient relationship. Many, especially those who have difficulty communicating wishes, will rightly be suspicious. For how can you trust stranger doctors to be devoted to your best interests once they have a license to kill? Should assisted death become a legal option, it will enter into many doctor-patient encounters. Anyone can see the corrosive effects of doubt and suspicion that will be caused by physician-assisted death. A patient's trust in the physician is a necessary ingredient in the therapeutic relationship and healing process. Mistrust produces stress, anger, and resistance to treatment. With the taboo against physician-assisted killing broken, legitimate fears of deadly abuse of the new license will attach even the most honorable physicians whose ability to heal will be compromised, and creates a culture of silence that destroys clinical discussions. Hamilton 2. As a director of the psychiatric outpatient clinic, I had long advocated training residents and medical students to treat aggressively problems in those who are ill. I championed an open discussion of medical issues. Then we will finally have an opportunity to discuss the life and death issue. This opportunity, rather than materializing, was lost. A fact that illustrates the official approach to institutionalized assisted suicide. Instead of promoting clinical discussion, legalization of physician-assisted suicide inaugurated a new culture of silence. So we clearly have a link after these cards. So, one second. So extend our the Guardian 4 evidence. It says erosions cause extinction. They don't address this in the 2AC. They simply just say we don't have a link, but these cards prove we have a link, and onto palliative care counterplan. In an answer to their perm due vote, Permutation Rexy Advisory Council process PAD introduces massive controversy. Russian and Schwartz 11. Danger for the MSAC is to be drawn into the controversy over the PAS. This controversy is not active. Consequently, the MSAC has not faced a potentially divisiveness that such a proposal would create. And legalization creates a financial incentive for PAS, crowds out other forms of medical decisions. For 14, John Kelly argued against the bill. He talked about the financial influences that end-of-life decision that affect end-of-life decisions. Because assisted suicide will always be the cheapest treatment, its availability would inevitably affect medical decision making. So that answers their permutation to do both. They say that palliative care is already present, but our counterplan specifically says that we're going to increase funding for palliative care, not keep it at the current level it is. We're advocating for an increase in funds for palliative care. The plan misidentifies as the main cause of PAS. Patients commit suicide due to depression. They said that in their speech that most patients are depressed. Legalization will result in more depression. Counterplan solves 11-2. There are several significant flaws with the argument. The argument fails to address the issues of the sanctity of human life and the various negative repercussions arising out of the legalization of assisted suicide. 67% of the terminally ill patients suffering from both depression and hopelessness have a high desire for a quick death. If we send this message to the terminally ill, then we are sending this message to all human beings who are unable to live independently. By providing terminally ill patients with the option for physician-assisted suicide, we may actually be increasing many patients' depression. The answer to the treatment of terminally ill patients is not to encourage or permit assisted suicide, but instead for the government to fund research addressing terminally ill patient depression, including funding palliative care use. There should be government funding for this type of care. And solvency for the palliative care counterplan, value to life. Counterplan allows options to sustain life. The process of attempt to maximize person's livelihood creates the value to living, fully intended to. Patients so ill served by bodies that they can no longer bear to live, bodies riddled with pain. However, sympathetically, we listen to such requests. We must see them as incoherent. Such person-body dualism cannot be sustained. Personhood is manifest. Only in living bodies our highest functions are held up. Metabolism, respiration, circulation, and excretion. No physician can serve the patient as person by denying and burdening the patient's personal embodiment. For life, we can be revered not only in preservation, but also in the manner in which we allow given life to reach eternity. What is most important morally is that the physician who ceases treatment does not intend the death of the patient. A physician who provides the pills or lets the patient plunge the syringe after he leaves the room is no different from the one who does the deed himself. And then on to the value of life. They say that value of life doesn't outweigh and is not subjective, but we clearly read cards in the want to see the 10-11 card that says value of life, or they say value of life does outweigh, but we say value of life doesn't outweigh. We said that, quoting the card, my belief is most lived lives worth living. For the argument, assume lives are not worth living. They're simply giving these people the option to have physician-assisted dying or suicide, but we're saying that these lives through palliative care, we're taking them away from their families. We have to allow them to live the lives that they're worth living and not take them away from their families. They say autonomy is key to life, and autonomy has to do with the choice, but once again, value of life is subjective. Extend our Schwartz 02 card, which says life is a prerequisite. The determination of the value of life is subjective, according to Schwartz. They said. Ready for questions?
Okay. First question. You say that. Oh, sorry. You mentioned this advisory council. Could you just explain explain how that works?
For the
Counterplan.
counterpoint. Okay. Yes. The permutation Rexy advisory plan council process, PAS introduces massive controversy, so they're not effectively to do their job with this massive controversy that they're facing.
What's the council? Yeah, what is it?
The MSAC, it says in the card, the advisory council for palliative care.
Okay, is that like, is that existent now?
The MA.
Advisory council?
Yes.
Okay, who makes that up? Like,
Who?
what kind of individuals? Are they doctors or?
Yeah.
They are doctors who just meet together and talk. Palliative care?
Or advisory board makes medical decisions.
Okay, the advisory board is made up of doctors? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then you said,
Or people within the medical field, yes.
okay, and then you say patients, your 11-2 card, you mentioned 67% of the terminally ill patients suffering from both depression and hopelessness have a high desire for a quick death. What is this statistic taken from? What, is it from Oregon or different country or?
It's from within, where's it taken from?
Yes, where is the statistic, like where's the data from?
US.
The US, you're sure?
Well, yes, well. hold on.
Because, do you know where it's from?
It doesn't necessarily say in the card.
Okay, so it could be from, say, the Netherlands? There's a possibility it could be from the Netherlands, right? Yes?
If you want to make that.
Okay. Okay. And then,
Or no, it is from the United States, sorry.
is Oregon?
Is it in Oregon?
It's, okay, it's in the US.
Wherever the physician is
Okay.
taking suicide, saying yes.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And then, so I just gotta find this. Okay, so you talk about the stem cell research, link, how cells treat disease. How, can you just explain your link between the doctrine of human relations and how this links to stem cell research?
Well, like we said in our 1NC, that the plan wrecks the effective response to disease research.
Wait, sorry, our plan writes an effective response to disease
Yes,
research?
physician-assisted diagnosis.
How does it do that?
Says on the card. I mean, I don't know what you necessarily want to say is in the card.
Okay, that's
Or the plan undermines medical-public relationship, which effectively wrecks the response to disease outbreak.
fine. Go take a breath.
Nope. Let me just save this for you. Just in time.
Do you have any new cards?
Yes, I was looking at one flash up for you.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And can we figure out, jump
Yeah.
to myself.
That's fine. Here you go.
Thank you.
We're ready when you are.
Okay, is anybody that is not ready? All right. And go. You said that the Dems will not, but that the
or no, you said that the Dems will win and that the GOP will lose. However, their polls fail. Incorrect sampling skews the results towards the GOP. Cone 1030. Declining responsibility. What? Yeah. Yeah, Dems will win. Young non-white voters can be hardest to reach. Dems predominant in metropolitan areas. Polls do not weigh these target state polls do not weigh population density. Response might be less urban. Even when pollsters use the right weights, it may not be enough. Even if pollsters have perfect targets, polls struggle to represent young non-white voters. Evidence is consistent with theory. Polling misfires have been common. Some polls are missing an entire segment of the population, which is assured to result in a Republican-leaning sample. The original GOP winning evidence that we, or Dems winning evidence that we gave is predictive. It is good evidence, and we are saying that their evidence is incorrect sampling, it is skewed, and do not take their evidence into account. They also said multiple numbers. However, when I asked them in process about what those numbers were, they could barely answer me. They didn't know how the voter laws were enacted or on what level they were enacted, which please do not make that argument for them. So I don't believe that these numbers will persuade the Dems or reps to go either way. The Dems will win. Moving on, they also put us in a double bind as they said that Dems can't do this, reps won't do this, and what argument can we make against this when they pretty much said, well, nobody can do anything. That's not how it works. Also, moving on to the internals for the GOP Keystone. They said that GOP will not vote for Keystone yet. Yes, they will. It causes Keystone pipeline approval will overwhelm the veto of 14. A key GOP senator predicts swift approval of the Keystone XL pipeline should his party regain control of the upper chamber. Congress would tackle the issue. 62 senators voted for the reconstruction of the pipeline, non-binding budget measure last year to override an Obama veto. More Republicans will have to be elected to Congress this fall. And GOP will approve the Keystone pipeline, Code 14. Waldman is proposing that Obama become a hostage taker despite appointment power. GOP acquiescence a small group of legislators. This matters. They agree on one thing. Obamacare is a disaster. It needs significant changes. A Republican Congress can't repeal the Obama years and start over, but it can continue to hammer the president whoever picks up the torch for the Democratic Party. If the GOP takes the Senate, this changes completely. Bills to approve Keystone XL make changes to Obamacare and do anything else that polls will be up for a signature or a veto, all backed up with a serious PR campaign. What will Obama do? It's tough to put into words how this changes political culture, but somehow it just does. Pretty much what we're saying here is that the GOP is going to pretty much backlash against Obama for his legislation that's been put through that they do not agree with. And this will, and we've already said that Obama is trying to resolve ACA controversy, and also passing this plan actually causes ACA controversy to re-spark, and it breaks the Dems. It causes them to lose. This is bad, as like we said, GOP causes the Keystone Pipeline, which was our CSN evidence, and also a bunch of the evidence I just read, as well as Keystone Pipeline fuels bitumen extraction and boreal forests die. This causes a lot of economic or ecological concerns, as that pretty much provides us clean air and water. And this can actually lead to extinction, or well, the boreal forest can solve extinction, which was our packet evidence, because it provides us with clean air, clean water, and it also helps to reduce CO2 within the atmosphere. And also, moving on to other impacts of the Keystone Pipeline is that Canadian oil development kills migratory birds, block noting. Further investigation in oil sands result in wider damage to the impact on migratory bird species. NRDC explored how many birds would be lost if all the oil sand projects came to pass. Death toll of 166 million birds. And bird migration prevents extinction. EU Commission 4. Birds are an intricate component of the ecosystems which we need for survival. Ecosystem provides us with food, medicines, and raw materials. They keep the climate stable, oxygenate air, and transform pollutants. Birds play an important role in the effective functioning of the system. They are good indicators of biodiversity. Pretty much what we're saying here is that if you go with their evidence and you allow them to take that uniqueness, pretty much what's going to happen is the GOP is going to vote for Keystone Pipeline. They're going to destroy the boreal forest, and they're going to pretty much kill migratory birds. All this pretty much helps us, save us from extinction, as it provides us with a lot of clean air, clean water, and wildlife. Moving on as well, how this ties back into Obama is that PAS debate gets tied to Obamacare. Previous debate proves well in 9. Why the focus on end of life here? Opponents of Obamacare argue that the bill is an attempt to pressure citizens and opting out of therapy. It brings to mind Boomsday, in which the government solves fiscal problems by offering tax breaks to those who kill themselves. The idea that Obamacare is promoting PAS has made its way into partisan rhetoric. Activist groups are concerned about the end of life proposals. Golden of the disability rights, education, defense president has been active in opposing PS, there is reason to be concerned. This is how our midterms linked to their physician-assisted suicide. It will be front page news. Creates massive controversy. Nicholas 12 on the national scene, and the flight carrier has become a political issue. There's a front page news during the debate surrounding healthcare reform reaching a feverish pitch as Palin warned of death panels. The ACA has given communities reasons to fear implementation, and PS is controversial among the voting bloc. Rejected ballot initiatives prove HRF 14. PS is controversial matter that polarizes the voting public. Alaska, Florida, and Ohio all voted down those that would legalize PS. California, Washington, Maine, and Michigan have rejected issues for ballots. And